Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with my weekly bitch, my back issue comic haul for the week. And I was going to still try to finish up the rest of the books that I had picked up over the summer that I hadn't shown, but try to keep things relevant. I'm going to focus on the Fall Con that I attended a week or two ago and hooked up with Dan, Kingpin, super nice guy, met a son. Guy's got killer taste in books. He want quality, I want quantity, but we'll go over that in a little bit here. But before we do that, I wanted to just kind of touch on some books that have become pretty relevant these days, especially after the New York City Comic Con. A lot of announcements and a lot of things to be aware of. So let's just get into it here. First book, this book seems to be the hottest book on the planet these days, which is Witches by Snyder and Jacques. And this has been picked up for a movie or a TV series, and it is just smoking hot right now. And if you were lucky enough to be able to pick up the New York City Comic Con variant, right now those are selling for $200 or more on eBay. So if you got one, man, I'm very jealous of you. But the first appearance of Witches actually appears in I is for Image, which actually there were two versions of that. There's an eye right on the cover, and there's one that's white and one that's black. You want the black one. I actually have that. I just purchased it. Haven't had time to pick it up yet, so hopefully it'll be in my next video. So speaking of television series or movies or whatnot, apparently Powers has been definite for a Sega, I believe it is, or PlayStation. PlayStation, I think it is. Evan was talking to me about it, and I did some reading on it. So this book might see some movement because of that. It's always been a great book. Marvel announced the big crossover event for 2015, and apparently it's going to have a lot to do with this miniseries right here. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars from the 80s. It's pretty tight-lipped on what's all involved, but apparently it's going to have a lot to do with this. I hope they don't butcher it, because that was just a fantastic series. One of the best in my opinion. Speaking of older miniseries of Marvel being revisited or having a focus on, apparently the third Captain America movie is going to be, the premise is going to involve Civil War. So right now, Civil War is seeing some uptick in commotion, and if you were lucky enough to have your Michael Turner sketch variants, you might want to hold on to those for a little bit. I think those are going to become very popular very soon here. So Captain America's third movie, the premise is going to involve Civil War somehow. They also announced DC did a Suicide Squad movie, I believe it is, and there's going to be 7 characters that are going to be in the movie. And the first one is going to be Jaculi, Jaculi. And her first appearance, there were 2 versions of her. The first version appears in this book right here, Suicide Squad 1. And apparently she dies in this, I think, right away. And then the second version appears in Suicide Squad 17. The next person is Mindboggler. And that person's first appearance is in Firestorm 29. The next person in the group is going to be Multiplex. His first appearance is in this book right here, Firestorm number 1. Blockbuster is going to make part of the group up, and his first appearance is in Detective 345. The next one is Captain Boomerang. His first appearance is in Flash 121. I do not own that book. All right. Vixen's going to be in the group. Her first appearance is in Action Comics 521. And then Deadshot is going to be kind of the boss or the ringleader of that group. And his first Bronze Age or current age appearance is in Detective 474. So you might want to look for those books there. So apparently Marvel announced that Gamora is going to get her own oncoming series at the con also. So it's sparking a little bit of interest for these 2 books here. Strange Tales 180 and 181. First appearance of Gamora, cameo type appearance. first full appearance. She's in the story pretty much throughout, and she's also named in this one, is in 181. So these books are something you might want to keep an eye on. All right, and that's, oh, and then the last bit of information is that apparently Gwen Stacy, as Spider-Girl, is going to get her own ongoing series. I do not own a copy of Spider-Verse 2. I'm on the lookout for that one. But apparently I was told that her first appearance may actually be in Deadpool versus Hawkeye 0. So you might want to look for that book too. So I don't own either of them. I'm trying to find both of them. All right, so let's get on to the fall con here. And I'm going to start on, I picked up about 120 books. Spent about $2, $2.50 a book is what it averaged for all of this stuff. The first book I picked up is this one right here. And Yanni Gogolak actually touched on this on his recent video. However, what this is Marvel Super Special Magazine 16. And what this is it came out in 1980, the spring of 1980. And it's a collection of the Marvel Star Wars from 39 through 44. And as most of us know, 42 is a very hot book right now with the first appearance of Boba Fett. This predates those releases of those individual issues. And there were actually 3 formats to this book. There was this, the magazine size. There's a Treasury that came out at the same time. I own the Treasury. It's buried. I couldn't find it or get at it. And then the third one, which is the most important one, is this one here, the pocketbook version. Now, what makes this one more interesting, and it's not any more desirable, but what makes it more interesting is this one was released a few months prior to the other two. And this was right around the time, or maybe before, I'm not sure, of the movie release. And during that time, Star Wars was keeping a very tight lid on Yoda. It was supposed to be the big, and he was obviously a huge success. And they didn't want any, pictures or whatnot to be released. So Marvel had to kind of guess. And so he is drawn differently in this book here. He's a little skinnier than in these two versions here. So kind of cool, something to be aware of. So picked up a couple of ash cans while I was at the con. I always like these interesting, unique ones. This is Cyber Force Zero. This is the San Diego Comic-Con ash can. This one's kind of cool. This is Shaman's Tears number 3 from Mike Grell. This was actually printed by Image, but then there was some commotion or something going on around issue 3, so that didn't get released for a while, and it was released by Creative Fire, released it in an ash can form, and then Image came back and did release that number 3 in a comic format. Picked up Tech Jacket number 1, which is the first Invincibles. 5 Ghosts, number 1. This is the Phantom variant, too. And what's cool about that is that has been picked up for a television series by Sci-Fi Channel. So, picked up Amazing Adventures 15. This is the first appearance of Griffin. And what also is kind of interesting about this book is this is the first time when Hank McCoy becomes the furry beast in issue 11, it was blue fur. And in this issue, it becomes black fur, which has been what it's stayed as. This is the Joe Quinones 1 in 20 variant to Avengers number 9. Picked up some Daredevils. These are some Gene Colan covers from 1967. Number 26. Number 36 from 1968. And number 41, another Gene Colan cover. So, picked up Giant Size Marvel Triple Action number 2 from 1975. I love these giant size. Shout out to Shannon, solid 4 bents there. Now down to 5 books to try to complete my Avengers run after picking up issue 35. This is the first series of Man-Thing. I'm still working on that. Issue number 6. I do have the second series complete. This is Marvel Superheroes Presents number 17, the first series. This is a reprint. However, what's cool about this is the death of the original Black Knight and the origin of the third one, which is Dane Whitman, who we're all used to seeing in the Avengers. All right. Then I picked up, Silver Surfer number 44. Beautiful silver or Thanos cover on that one. But what's most important about this, with issue being 44...
Number 44. Whoa! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts. Whoa! Give me some!
Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me!
Picked up Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. 18. That is the last issue of his series. Strange Tales 124. Early appearance of Paste Pot Pete. Picked up Submariner 29, Battling Hercules. And issue 32, or 62, I'm sorry. Picked up Submariner, Tales to Astonish 83. Beautiful Jack Kirby cover on that one. Werewolf by Night, number 8. I'm down to needing 2 issues to complete that run. Unfortunately, one is 32. This is Adventure Comics 345 from 1966. It's the death of Weight Wizard and Blockade Boy. And then this one is really cool. I never knew that Neil Adams did covers for the Legion of Superheroes, but this is issue 368. Beautiful Neil Adams cover on that one. And then this one is cool. This is Aquaman 33 from his original series. This is the first appearance of Aqua Girl. However, they always refer to her as Aqua Chick in this issue. So kind of weird, kind of, I don't know, 70s or 60s, I should say. Some more Marvel graphic novels. This is issue number 75 from 1993. This is Daredevil and Black Widow, the Abattoir, I believe is how you pronounce that. Issue number 74, Marvel graphic novel from 1992. This is Punisher and Black Widow, Spinning Doomsday Web. Is that not a cool cover on that one? Number 71, Silver Surfer Homecoming from 1992. All right, Kazar. This is actually number 42 from 1990. Kazar, Guns of the Savage Land. And issue number 41 from 1988. This is the Punisher Assassins Guild. The number 24, this is Daredevil, Love and War from 1986. Bill Sienkiewicz. And then number 12, Dazzler, the movie from 1984. I touched on these in my last video. These are just beautiful books. I love Marvel graphic novels. If you can get them, please pick them up. And I've found in further research that there's upwards of 75 to 90 of these things. I thought there were only 54 of them, but this is going to end first part of my video, my bitch. So look for second or part 2. Ben Cruz signing off.